What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast, where each and every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday discussing that gaming shit. This is Terrell, one of your hosts here in the show, and we got Arthur. What's going on, bud?
Nothing much. Had a cool early Thanksgiving thing with my sister and some of her neighbors. And plus it was great because we got to see the Vikings win. They barely beat the Jaguars, which was a little concerning because that's
Oh,
one of the
wow.
shittier teams in the league.
Hey, this is
Uh
like barely day because the Steelers won by 1 point against the
I
fucking Commanders. Yeah.
I saw that, and the Steelers won by getting them on a hard count to go off sides. Like, damn, Russell Wilson, that kid, that's that old school shit coming back. Like, okay, if we don't get them to go off sides, we fucking lose. Okay, oh, they fucking.
Yeah, I don't know where our fucking defense was. I was like, we just kind of stopped playing football for a while. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, yeah.
Dude, the Steelers gotta get on the same page, man. Like, I'm sorry, but like the Steelers locker room has to get in the zone with the rallying cry that may lead the Steelers onto playoffs hopes, which is Steelers country. Let's weld. Like that's they got it. They got it gonna
It's like,
Mr.
let's build, let's weld.
Let's ride. Let's
Let's
ride was
ride.
the yeah, Broncos
Mm.
country, let's ride.
Uh,
Steelers country, let's ride. Because I'm Mr. Unlimited. What unlimited? I sorry, it's just for non-football fans, Russell Wilson is a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and his nickname is Mr. Unlimited. And let it be known here that let's weld is and will forever be the official chant of the Steelers, as far as I'm concerned, Drill.
yeah, I mean, it's funny because like I feel like he threw a lot of passes or a lot of balls that were not good passes, but people caught them anyway. Like they like just caught them and like rolled into the fucking thing, you know? Like, but it's like yeah, like they caught it, but it doesn't mean it was a good
It's
throw.
like, hey, Russ, if you could stop having your receivers look like Olympic long jumpers every time they have to catch a ball, that'll be great.
Like it's like they almost dislocated some shit, you know. So it's like, I mean, I'm glad we have Justin Fields to kind of balance it out. But yeah, very interesting game. I'm like, hopefully we can do a better job on barely beating the Commanders. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Well, first off, the Commanders are actually surprisingly good this year, which no one fucking saw coming. They're top of the division, which again, who no one fucking saw that coming. Second of all, at least you guys didn't have four interceptions. We had four interceptions and they were all atrocious.
Mm.
Technically, we only had three because one came back as a penalty, but we were watching it live and it was like we watched that fourth interception live. And it's funny, Gerald. It's like, can our team switch? Because our defense is what won us the game. Like our defense
Ah,
caught like the fourth, it was 7-3 in the fourth quarter against
wow,
the
low scoring game.
Jaguars. Um, and eventually we got a couple interceptions, we got a couple turnover, we got a fumble recovery. And it was like field goal, field goal, field goal. It was like the Jaguars. So the Jaguars, see how this game ended. The Jaguars had one touchdown. We had no touchdowns, and we won the game.
Some
So
strategy there, some Age of Empires shit.
And the funny thing is, Joe, how we won our game on field goals. It was our backup kicker that we recruited to this past Tuesday because our main kicker got injured. So our backup kicker, we just like Tuesday was like, "Hey, you kicked for us lately?" No. Well, you're up. So, so our defense and our kicker won us the game.
Hey, if that's not an underdog story, I don't know what is. But for those of you watching or listening to this, hello. Of course, you came about the games here, which we'll talk about. Be sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel at G4L Podcast at the letter G, Jesus, the number 4, the letter L Podcast. That is where Arthur does the streams when he's streaming, doing the game streams on the channel. So we have these videos that you're watching, and as far as the audio and everything else, you can go to linktree.com/gamers for life, the number 4 life. One stop shop link for everything else. And here at the Gamers for Life podcast, you can read the news while Jesus, how did I used to do this? Here's my
Read the
podcast.
news and listen to.
Yeah.
Fuck! It used to be so
You
smooth.
forget
It
this.
used to be so smooth. Right, reading
Yeah.
the news and listen to watch what you choose.
Yeah,
Boom.
there you
There
go.
you
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
And
Click on the links of the time
and
code under the description of the episode. So you can go to what you want, certain segments. I will do that because we have quite a few handful of segments. It's weird. It's a low news week, but there's enough to get us by for an episode, so I will add those there. Or you can just hang out with us here at the Gamers for Life podcast. Thank you for the alley oop there, Arthur. Shit, starting off, we were talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro, where it did come out. And it seems like the reviews have had a curating narrative of this is a hard sell.
no, you mean we weren't right again?
Right. And this is just like and I don't know if you probably posted a article that I'll probably just have you maybe look and refer to, but I just kind of wanted to speak out on like a layman's terms, like even on like the greatest reviewers, or like the big tech reviewers, everyone's like title of it is like PS5 Pro, is it really worth it, or like it's kind of a hard sell, like, and this is like a $700 machine, right? This is not a machine. This is not a machine that's it's the most expensive PlayStation machine that they've made. You know what I'm saying? So definitely one of those things, and that was kind of my main argument, slash like con, as to me not really considering to get the console. Yes, it does have what is it, 1 to 2 terabyte, the 2 terabyte PS5 Pro. So I got planes and shit flying around. So you have that, which is obviously makes a lot of sense, and then obviously they upgraded the processing power of it. There's the what do they call them? The PSSR technology within it. But at the end of the fucking day, what does it look like? What does your game look like? And does it look crazy better than the predecessor? And I think a lot of people have said no, unless you have high end stuff to view it. And that's just kind of one of those things. And then the CEO, or one of the two CEOs, said that they're kind of pushing they're pushing for quote unquote the hardcore gamer. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of hardcore gamers don't have all of the high end tech. Like in my opinion, like I feel like they have maybe the PS5, they have a 2-year-old TV, they have a regular HDMI, not 2.1. They maybe have a nice space for it. They're not all gonna have the latest and greatest 2024 version of tech. So like I know church is like, I want to get PS5 day one, I want to do that, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you do you, rock out. But for me, to me, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of value. Like even like their comparison photos, and this is gonna have an upgrade, this is gonna have an upgrade, but it's like none of this really looks like yo, that is fantastic, let's go my guy, let's go. So it's just proved my point. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for real, or just get a PS5 Slim, specifically when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. But kind of give me your thoughts on just kind of the reviews of it, just your thoughts as far as for the PS5 Pro as of right now, if it's changed or whatever.
No, like I said, none of us were like the PS5 Pro, the PS5 Pro is garbage. It's not worth the money. That was never the thing. We're just saying whether it's worth the money right now. And I don't believe it is, because like Jarrell said, cool. You got all this benefits. Like for example, the quality, but if you don't have like a 4K monitor, or if you're like one of the many people that have bought and like 120 gigabyte hertz monitor, but have still yet to realize you have to actually turn 120 hertz on, because there's, it was like a study where like the vast majority of people that bought X hertz 120, 240 hertz monitors haven't actually turned on their setting beyond 60 hertz yet. So,
That's
but
hilarious.
so unless you have, so if you're playing it just on a regular, TV, especially across like your living room, you might not fucking notice it. Like every reveal they've had of look at this game compared to this game compared to this game, like cool. The hue is a little better. Um, the lighting might be a little different, but nothing like take my money now. Um, so again, not horrible. Um, but hey, but like this in 20 checks aren't rolling in. You can't just fucking stop what you're doing and be like, "Hey, Uncle Sam's paying for this shit." Bah! Like a lot of people,
Right.
may or may not have been during the pandemic. But but again, like I said, I advise waiting till you have more and more games that are worth it. Plus, a lot of the only good games right now are upgrades. So if you're a gamer, so that's the thing, Joe. You're talking about this is for diehard gamers. Well, diehard gamers most likely have already played these games. Like diehard gamers have already played God of War Ragnarok. Diehard gamers have already played the Death Strandings, the Ratchet and Clanks, the Horizons. So, and here's the thing, Drill. The one remake, the one remake that PlayStation customers have been asking for, Bloodborne. Where the fuck is it? If the Bloodborne remake would have been on this pro console day one, massive, massive fucking sales. Because if you talk about a consumer base or community that's devout and will pay the buku bucks for the collector's editions, the fucking everything editions, it's the From Software customers. And it's not only because it's like quote unquote fanboy. I don't really put From Software gamers in the category quote unquote fanboy because I loop those fanboys into like a quality that's lower, but they hype it up points above to where it's actually not. Whereas From Software games absolutely have a quality to back that shit up. So again, I think this launch would have been a massive more success than it's kind of already being had they released or announced a Bloodborne remake with this available day one. Now that being said, if they ever this time next year, Jarrell, announce Bloodborne remake only available or optimized for PS5 Pro, you're going to see bundles and or increase in sales next year. Absolutely. So again, just going over some of the quick specs. I know, Joel, you mentioned some of them. So the PS5, this is from Screen Rant. The PS5 is already a beefy console, delivering players 4K gaming up to 120 frames per second with 120 hertz. Remember, you have to turn it on. But the PS5 Pro looks to challenge what the console already provides, upgrading the entire gaming experience tenfold. I don't know where that tenfold number comes from. I don't know what is 10 times the improvement. Before even getting to the upgrade graphics, like you said, Drill, the storage increase from 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte instantly lends the console to be a worthwhile pickup. I already said I disagree with that. I'm not a digital hoarder. I'm not the type of guy that has to have 50 fucking games downloaded. I'm only like real shit. I'm only like playing 5 games. And guess what, Drill? Internet, like we said, internet speeds what they are now versus 10 years ago in gaming are night and fucking day. Hey, Arthur, download this 30 gigabyte game. Cool. I'll see you online in like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So I don't need, so again, this for me personally, this 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte expansion, cool. I don't fucking need it. I'm sure people like to flex and be like, yeah, 2 terabytes. Now I can have all these games installed that I don't play, where I'm just like, I'll uninstall it. And then my friend's like, hey, guess we're playing this weekend. Monster Hunter Beta. Okay, cool. Monster Hunter Beta has 20 gigs. See you in a couple minutes. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not shitting on the 2 terabyte thing. It's just not for me. I know 2 terabytes is a big for a lot of people. I personally don't need a drill. Like I said, I don't get the digital hoarding, but other people like having 2 terabytes larger storage. Like, hey, Tim Allen, home improvement, more power. Oh, I get that. Like if you're just blatantly saying me, hey, more is more, just be upfront, saying more is more. I get that. Trying to justify it, I'm like, oh, okay, just keep it simple. You like it because more is more. Don't, you can lie to yourself. You don't need to lie to me. But again, anyway, screen description here with the 2 terabytes, giving players immediate access to larger games or bigger library without any necessary improvements of their own. I don't know. Like I said, it's not a horrible console. Like we've said, the Xbox Series S is not a true next gen console. This clearly is. So to Church's point, if you technically want the best of the best, as a PS5 owner, as a Sony customer, then this is the best of the best. But like Joel and
Yeah.
I said, we just don't think it's worth your money now.
And we have to put things into perspective too, right? Because if someone has a PS4, they're upgrading to PS5 and they want the best of the best. Yeah, obviously the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be that console that they should absolutely consider. Now, if we're talking about someone who has a PS5 and they get a PS5 Pro, I still don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. Like, yes, if you technically want the best of the best, but I mean, if we're gonna talk about the if we're gonna talk about the hard drive, you can get a hard drive for between 100 and 150 bucks as far as for a 2 terabyte. You know what I mean? Slap it in, call it a fucking day. Yes, the PlayStation 5 Pro has Wi-Fi 7. That's fire because that's the most updated Wi-Fi version or whatever out, and everyone else will follow suit. Probably by next year. But so that's to me that's even better than the 2 terabyte stuff. But and then obviously there's the PSSR stuff, but all that stuff is like it's subjective to the human eye, right? And that's the problem is that you can't, if it's not something where you can put 50 people together and and the majority of those 50 people can say, wow, this actually looks like a great value for my PlayStation 5. Like I want to trade in my PS5 to upgrade to a PS5 Pro, via GameStop back in the day. Then yeah, I think Sony has to do a better job with that. Now, in retrospect, or on the other side of the spectrum, I should say, on the contrary, they're like 65 million units in for the PlayStation 5, just the OG one, right? Or just the PlayStation 5 in general, compared to like with the Pro and the regular, or the Slim and the regular. So people are buying consoles still. Right. But as far as the Pro, yeah, the value is missing. And the funny thing too, I kind of wanted to mention a bit. I know Churchy's he's made a good point about how, Sony needs to do a better job kind of telling us like, hey, what's coming? You guys like really keep shit quiet or whatnot. But they're still they're still like the highest selling console compared to Xbox. People still buy these consoles regardless if they don't know what's coming out, because the library of what they have, yeah, like because the library that they have is pretty fucking good, especially for the older titles. They're pretty fucking good, and PlayStation Plus is a lot better than it's ever been. From just a benefits perspective of offering those items, right? So there's something to be had there. Obviously, I think when shit hits the fan, yes, Sony needs to have some significance, but they kind of have an iPhone thing going on or an Apple thing going on where it's like we don't need to tell you almost everything all the time. But when people are still buying these items because there's a luxury component to it, there's a elitist, just like this is kind of like the bigger like gaming experience in comparison to Xbox, where it's just like this is a Game Pass machine, you know what I mean? So I don't know. There's just something to be had there. I'm curious to see how if the title changed when it comes to how their messaging is with games. Because I know Church is really big about these. Like, I want 10 to 15 years. I'm like, well, that's not how Sony operates. And clearly, it's fine because people are still buying consoles. So I don't know.
Like I said, the PS5 Pro, at least day one, feels more like you're buying a brand than an experience. Again, not horrible. The iPhone's clearly a popular thing. Same thing. You're buying a brand, not the capabilities. So
I will argue that though. Apple, the capabilities, if we compare.
Okay, after
I would argue that's not the case.
Okay, Drill, you're right. Apple's capabilities are better after they went to the Supreme Court and said, yes, all that crazy shit, we've been doing it. Hey, did everyone notice that their Apple iPhones started to get fucked up when the new iPhones came out? Yeah, that wasn't a conspiracy theory. That was real. Hey, Apple making it difficult to repair your phones. Apple being against the right to repair. Yeah, we did that. So yes, Drell, after testifying to the Supreme Court, yes, Apple has improved. It only took a federal capital investigation, but yes.
Well, don't get it twisted. We all know their dirt and stuff. I'm just talking about if we're talking about features and and usability compared to certain apps on Android to iPhone. Like, I mean, for example, I've been using Koalas. Like, for those who don't know what that is, it's a sample. It's a sampler app, as far as like a beat making app. Beat making machine or whatever. Where you put samples in, make beats, whatever, have fun. Apple's functionality much smoother. Much smoother, you know what I mean. But obviously, like, hey, I don't prefer to have. I don't like having Apple shit.
Yeah, you have an you have an Apple. You have an Apple, but you don't fucking gobble them like that. But
yeah,
but up until now,
yeah,
from the outside looking in, that's why I use Apple as an example where you can it felt like people were buying the brand than the actual capabilities.
Yeah, I will say too, like, it's still funny to me where people buy like the most like the highest level storage, even though they force people to sign up for iCloud. Like, it's like, wait a minute, what about what about all this storage I buy? They're like, oh no, you're out of iCloud. You got to get more iCloud. That's one of the biggest scams. You know what I mean?
That's
it's like
hilarious.
It happens all the time. It still happens. You know what I mean? It's like, because like I remember like they're trying to charge me. It's like, oh, I got out my iCloud. I'm like, didn't you buy like a terabyte phone? I was like, why does it ask you for iCloud? Like, huge scam, like, to me. So fuck them.
Didn't I buy like 300 square feet of a storage space? Yeah, but you've occupied 5, so we need you to actually buy double the storage space.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's one of their classic schemes.
PS5. Fucking wait.
Yeah, I can wait on the Pro personally. So.
Unless, don't wait. I say wait unless you're having your asshole family members or cousins over that shit on you, and you want to flex on them at Thanksgiving. Then buy the PS5 Pro. Then the PS5 Pro is a good family flex. It's a centerpiece. Like, you know how like old school white people will just show off different shit in their house, and then like this, hey, look, this is my PS5 Pro. This is my old China. This is my PS5 Pro. So yeah. So if you want to flex centerpiece for family Thanksgiving, then okay, then maybe do you, boo.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of things we're waiting for, Grand Theft Auto 6 and the son of a bitch Take-Two CEO, according to MSN.com, says here, in quote, 6 months after Take-Two CEO said, oh, this isn't the right article I wanted.
That's my
about.
thing. You open my article.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll put this on in the chat. I want to talk about GTA 6 first before we talk about that thing as well, which will be connected. He said, so according to this is Video Game Chronicle, my apologies, it says Take-Two CEO not worried about GTA 6 performance on Xbox Series S, which I find really interesting. It says Zelnick also emphasized the importance of publishing on PC of the company. It says here that speaking as part of Take-Two's latest earnings, the CEO said that he's never been concerned about any potential hardware issues. It says, look, we support the platforms where consumers are for as long as they're there. We find a way to support platforms despite different levels of tech, said Zelnick when asked about the Xbox Series S. Says Microsoft mandates that any game released on Xbox Series S will also be released on S, the lower powered console. Our labels are really good at that, Zelnick said, so I'm not really worried. Never worry about where the hardware's going. And I've said many times over the years, because, first of all, I don't worry about over things that I have zero control. He's such a piece of shit. Says, secondly, I believe in the audience. The audience is going to show up if you have great properties. So we just have to make sure to be on an array of platforms. Let's see here. Oh, so Zelnick also emphasized the importance of publishing on PC of the company. GTA 6 is not currently announced for PC. Says if one platform diminishes in value, there's always another one, he explained. So we're seeing great growth on PC right now. For example, I've been able to view the open formats will continue to grow PCs in open format. No shit, dumbass. It says I do think PC will continue to be more and more important. Part of console business moving forward. Not as complicated for us to support at all. So the bottom line is that we're selective about which platforms we support it. We make a tech work, and we can make it work as long as the audience is big enough to make it worthwhile, end quote. Man, this guy said a whole lot of nothing and just jived his cock at us. Like, how annoying is that? Um,
What's that? A billionaire's profession? A billionaire is a master at HR speak? No.
yeah. I mean, let's just be realistic. Like, nobody should buy Grand Theft Auto 6 on Series S, in my opinion. Like, you have to like, get an X, like that. You will see the differences. Like talking about PlayStation 5 Slim to PlayStation 5 Pro, it's like,
I was gonna say let's be clear because we were just for those of you not aware because we were just saying PS5 wait on the PS5 Pro. Xbox Microsoft said since day one the Xbox Series S as in slim as in Sierra as in shit is not a true next gen console, whereas the Xbox Series X as in xylophone was. So
right,
again, so just to be clear, like Microsoft has said, this is not the same um, performance level as a Series X, which you and I were, and a lot of people were immediately skeptical upon when the Series X was announced, and all of a sudden this other slim console was $150 cheaper. We're like, no fucking way. This is
yeah.
$150 cheaper just because of the size alone. And sure enough, they're like, yep, it's not as powerful. So GTA 6, by far, still, once again, the most anticipated game coming out. Yeah, the memes have died down, but again, because the trailer came out almost when I say a year ago now. But still the most anticipated game. And like Drell said, I agree that if you're looking to buy GTA 6 and you have an Xbox Series S Slim, upgrade. Like again, Microsoft themselves have told you the product you bought or the product that you're looking to buy is not as powerful. So do not buy this game in the Series S. So again, he's saying, yeah, we're not worried about Xbox Series X sales. No one fucking is. Cool. What's next? Coming up at 11, water wet. Awesome. But but the biggest thing he kind of skirted on was PC. Because in the same sentence or same interview, he's saying, we want this available in all products. Hey, again, tell me you don't know how your company runs without telling me how your company runs. Your games don't fucking launch in PC. Your games don't fucking release at PC on launch.
Right.
So
They haven't.
what?
They
What the?
haven't.
They haven't. What the fuck are we talking
Like
about?
this period, they haven't. Yeah.
We want this accessible to all consoles or to all platforms. Cool. You do realize, you know, you do realize how Zoolander can make a left turn that you don't release your games to PC at launch. So, and here's the thing, Joe. With that, we still don't have confirmed that his bullshit PR answer. We still don't know if GTA 6 is coming to PC at launch. He said we wanted blah 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 accessible platforms, but we're looking at the viability of PC. What the fuck do you mean the viability of PC?
Right.
Do you see think the viability of PC? Does I think this PC market, the PC gamer market is just going to crash? Like everyone's going to sell their fucking get rid of the cancel Steam and get rid of their fucking PCs by the time GTA 6 comes out. What the fuck do you mean viability? This isn't the stock market of like the price of coffee. Like these are gaming computers hardware, you idiot.
Yeah. It's very like it was a very eye rolling article. And it didn't say anything. It basically just said more of the same as far as just, hey, we're just gonna do what we're doing. And like as far as like the viability of it, I mean that should have been known from the beginning of the year when Helldivers 2 came out. You know what I mean? A swoon of people bought on Steam to play with their PS5 friends. You know what I mean? So it's like that was a whole fucking thing, and it blew up. You know, and then obviously Sony's continuous support for PC. You know, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. God of War Ragnarok. These are all PS5-ish Sony games that came out, you know, are now available on PC, which is crazy. You know what I mean? I still need to buy God of War Ragnarok. That's on the docket. Hoping it's going to be on sale. But
Sorry to cut you off. Death Stranding Director's Cut is now available on PC.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I know it showed up on Xbox as well. I heard there's some issues on it for the Xbox version, but yeah, excited for that. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's just some CEO bullshit, to be honest with you. And then also too, you know, when it comes to the Xbox Series, this is something to be noted as well. You know, Xbox Series S, they did the numbers and metrics. The majority of Xbox Series players, they have the S over the X. That's to be noted, you know. So if you're talking about if you're gonna be like, nah, man, it's cool. It work on the Series S, baby. It's all good. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have the people are going to have problems. Like, people had problems from the fucking 360. I mean, we talked about this on the show before. The whole 360. You need to buy a hard drive because X, Y, and Z. You need at least you need at least a 20 gig or whatever it was, and people were just like freaking out, for the Grand Theft Auto 5, and they came back in the fucking store and bought a hard drive because they realized, hey, my game doesn't play. It's like, yeah, well, that thing I told you about, yeah.
Yeah, I bought a 12 gigabyte hard drive, but my 7 gigabyte game doesn't work. Yeah, dude.
Crazy.
I have a question. I didn't know this. This is why I like to a point we don't talk too much before the pod because I got to hear this shit like live. I didn't know the majority of Xbox customers have a Series S. Is that okay?
Yep.
As a now PS5 owner, knowing that the majority of Xbox customers have a Series S, is that the reason why Xbox first party games look like dog shit?
I mean, that's a fair. I mean, is that are you being serious with your question?
Like that's
a fair point. It's a fair point too, as far as like optimization between the two. Like,
I went like again at launch subjectively for us. We had fun with Starfield. I will still stand by our review. People are saying Starfield's a 2. It's a 3. It's like, no, those are unplayable, unfun games. Starfield was fun. Nowhere near fucking perfect. A 7, a solid 7, 8 at the max if you weren't doing all the vast open world shit. A solid 7 we can agree on for the most part. But again, Drill, going from like Starfield to Ghost to Ratchet and Clank, Ghost of Tsushima, Helldivers. Holy shit, my PS5 games look good. And so, and I still say I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm not shitting it for the sake of shitting it. But again, going from a PS5 and Bethesda's games to PS5 titles, I still say, as fun as it's looking, I still am part of the crowd that's saying, I think the new Indiana Jones game looks clunky as all hell. Because to me, it just does. Again, now it's like, it's not, maybe you can't, maybe some people don't want to put, Indiana Jones in the same category as Ghost of Tsushima, but I'm like, okay, well, I'm putting categories like first party versus first party. And one of those first party games costed more than double the value of Star Wars. So, but again, knowing that the majority of customers have a Series S, I still wonder if that's the reason why Xbox first party games never look crisp. Like Space Marine 2, like Joe, like Space Marine 2, not a first party game, but I'm using this as an example. Like you and I both agree that was the cleanest looking game we have played when it feels like in years.
Yeah.
And Xbox games, first party Xbox games, don't look like that. I fuck with Obsidian. I like Obsidian. I think Obsidian does the right thing in having their aesthetic art style kind of counteract with how the game can look. Like if you look at Outer Worlds and not Avowed, but if you look at Outer Worlds and Grounded, those art styles like make the look and quote unquote performance of the game fit. You know what I mean? Like Grounded isn't the most like, fucking cleanest looking game, but it works because that's their art style. Whereas like most first party Xbox games outside of Obsidian, they don't have that aesthetic choice to them. So they just look clunky and heavy and not as polished as Ratchet and Clank. Like Ratchet and Clank and Tsushima are, again, some of the clean, and Space Marine 2, some of the cleanest games I played in years. So that was just one thing that came to mind, Joel. That's one thing that came to mind, Joel, when you said that, is like, holy shit, maybe that's the reason why Xbox first party games look like they're built for the Xbox Series S, because apparently they fucking were.
No, it may be so, right? And I think this is even a bigger conversation when we're talking about next gen and current gen. As far as for when you're making these games and you're trying to, you're trying to support like the generation before and then the current generation and the sacrifice that comes with that, right? It's like sometimes they deliver those games for third party studios to make, but sometimes they don't. And typically when they don't is when things suffer, things get delayed, things look like shit on launch, and even Sony's at fault for this too, right? I mean, and even though there's still a lot of people that own PlayStation 4s that have yet purchased PlayStation 5. I mean, the PlayStation 4, I mean, to me, it's one of the most supportive older consoles like that's been supported. Like, one of the top
X-
five.
Xbox has dropped the Xbox One hard.
Yeah. They dropped that pretty quickly, right? It's sort of like, yeah, we're not supporting this. So yeah, exactly. You need to compare that, and even that annoys me as far as like for the PlayStation 4 support. Like it's cool to do that. Like it's great. I'm glad that they recognize so many people are on PlayStation 4. But on the other side of the spectrum, it's like, look, if we're going to do current gen shit, and let's do current gen shit. Let's focus on current gen, which is the next gen stuff. Let's make that stuff and focus on that. And then, yeah, it's not going to be on PS4. It's time to go to PS5, bitch. You know what I mean? like that push. But I think it's one of those things where, especially if maybe on the other side of the spectrum, if you have a console where you don't know where anything's coming out, and you kind of hope and roll the dice to see if in fact will be on PS4, maybe that's why people don't move. But I just wish there would be more daringness as far as like, look, focus on the current next gen, because when you work on both, a lot of the times everything gets fucked up.
They
You know
both
what I mean?
suffer.
Yeah, like Cyberpunk 2077 is a prime example. You know what I mean? Like they tried to work on everything at the same time. They didn't finish everything, and somehow it got gold lighted that it was ready for everything. Which it was 2 years away, like literally, from being a working game for everything, every platform. And obviously they ate a lot of fucking money. You know what I mean? But they still profited crazy, which is surprising. But like they ate a lot of money for that, and a lot of people were like let go, and they had to change the studios and all that stuff, and now they're finally done. They're not doing anything else with Cyberpunk, but like it took 2 years to get it to be actually playable, like really really solid, which is wild. So yeah, I just wish there would be more of a line in the sand on, we are focusing on current gen, and the older gen is left in the old gen. If you want to stick old gen shit, that's fine, but don't expect new shit on your old shit. I'm sorry, like this is where the line is drawn. So
I just like the conspiracy theory that they accidentally released the Cyberpunk CG Project Red accidentally released the Switch port to all consoles, and that's why it looks so bad at launch.
oh my god,
But no,
that's
but no,
hilarious.
you are right. I do think it is weird to be developing games for both the PS4 to the PS5 Pro. You know what I mean? Because that is truly unlike the Series S. The PS4 the PS4 and the PS5 Pro is like 1.5 of a generational jump. But back to GTA 6
Mm.
again. This CEO needs to stop opening his mouth. I know, when the stuff like this comes happen, where these CEOs run their fucking mouth and have put distrust, it's like for people like us, it's a very very small percentage, and I get that, and I understand that you and I, mainly me, it's fine. I know you're right there with me though, but
No, we'll
are
start the
are kind
we'll
of
we'll
are
start
we're
the Loud Few podcast eventually.
yeah, we're like, again, with some stuff for old guys yelling at clouds, but again, it's like when the person from the top just openly just doesn't give a shit compared to like other CEOs in the gaming industry. It's like, well, fuck, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, why like the meme of like, we got blank before GTA 6. This is why. It's like, why would the CEO green light a new game being made when the current game GTA 5 was just being milked and milked and milked and milked? I still say, one side tangent, drill, one side tangent. I still say GTA 5 lasted a little bit longer with its play count because of gaming influencers. I know this is a side, it's a side tangent, but I think gaming influencers need to be 100% more transparent when something is like a paid sponsorship or something is involved in the background. Because like, no way, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people are just like, I haven't played GTA in years. Let's play the newest DLC. No, everyone's like checked out. But that just means, like it's that's not like a hot take, just like a general comment, like it's just real shit. If like someone's making a review when it comes to, we talk about game journalists, we talk about game journalists, but when it comes to like, influencers reviewing a game or even just playing a game and just making a video about it, be a little more upfront about the paid sponsorship. A lot are, but a lot are not. And there's no way, like the GTA 5 RP, like roleplay community, absolutely contributes to the player count, but like these, but like, a lot of other just shouty, fucking tweens, like, just playing GTA 5 for the sake of, just for the sake of the audience. I'm like, come on, just start asking for GTA 6 like the rest of us, and maybe we actually might fucking get it. Which side note, slight a news drill is the range rough release date was announced fall, right? It was fall 2025. That was officially announced, right? Well, that wasn't a rumor.
No, that's not a rumor. Yeah, that's what that was the official like scope of when the game was going to come out. Yeah, because I saw that as well.
So flip of a coin, GTA 6 might be my birthday game next year.
Ah,
But hey, Drill, like I said, Drill, if I go 3 for 3 and my birthday games get delayed, expect a receipt of a picture. Expect me sending a picture of a receipt. I'm saying it now, Drill. If I go 3 years in a row and my birthday game gets delayed, I'm buying $100 worth of Powerball tickets.
nice.
Like, just no fucking way, man. No fucking way, right?
Very true. That's funny. Definitely. So leaning over towards another company that we're not so fond of, but the iteration of the game in movie form or TV show form. I'm still kind of excited about is Mass Effect. So the Mass Effect TV series officially got announced that it was officially in development. Goddamn planes. Um, so, and this is according to it says oh my god, I'm already I'm already taking back what I said before I record as far as being excited for this. I'm already pulling it back because the sub message says Fast and Furious 9 writer Daniel Casey is said to be writing the Amazon MGM show. This is gonna fucking suck.
No, what? No,
Oh,
no
Jesus.
way.
Oh, God.
Actually, okay. Stay with me. Okay, fuck. Okay, God. Okay, Drell. Here's the thing. We're gonna move on from the fact that this is not gonna be good. This show's not gonna be good. We're calling it. I'm gonna go in a quick talk thing. Drill, scroll down the article and just see if it talks about if they've played the games, because that's commonality. That's commonality. Because remember, one thing to talk about or mention again, real quick. Remember, Drill. One thing we know. This is one thing we already know about. The makers of the Yakuza show have already come out and said the same shit we've heard before. They haven't played the games. They're making their own iteration. So I've already mentally forgotten that Yakuza show is going to exist. No one gives a shit. What the fuck are they doing? But you know me, Joe. I like my hypotheticals, what ifs. Like, oh, what if this happens? I'll say this. I think someone that'd be cool to produce the Mass Effect show or a miniseries. Because again, I don't want this to be like 8 fucking seasons. Make it a goddamn miniseries with a start, a middle, and an end. Someone that'd be kind of cool to produce Mass Effect. I think Michael Bay. I want to have Shepard do a crazy fucking speech, and then what I've done, like fucking Linkin Park just kick off. You know what I mean? Because if you again, this I'm gonna talk about hypotheticals. This show's already dead to me, so let me have joy. Let a little dopamine fire off in this grave. In this show that's already been put into a grave before it's already been fucking Boring. There's a better way to phrase that. I can't. But Mass Effect was really known for its crazy, amazing dialogue. I still say Mass Effect has some of the best speeches in the game. At least the Mass Effect 3, the forming of the fleet when all the fucking aliens show up. Oh, Drell, that still is like we talked about how there's certain game moments or game trailers I still watch. The Mass Effect 3 forming of the Galactic Fleet is still a moment in gaming I watch every now and again. And again, that bum 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 that kicks in when all the fleet starts showing up. I'm like, oh, so let's go, yeah. let's go to fucking war. I don't care if we're gonna die. We're about to go to fucking war. And I the to visuals to fucking music that makes you want to go fucking die, and once you want to go fucking die in the trenches. Michael Bay does a really good job at that. So let me have the dopamine fire off and cue the memes of, like I said, the Mass Effect 3 speech, queuing with the meme of like directed by Michael Bay. What I meant. So
that's hilarious.
So yeah. So Joe, you made some really faces I can only describe as ecstatic while reading the rest of this article. So please, Joe, what is making you so jubilant about this Mass Effect show of a series that you and I both love?
Yeah. Well, you called this one because I was just hoping that someone that was gonna maybe be in relation to the Fallout series or just anything else that any other video game iteration that has been solid. Doesn't seem like this is the case. So let me explain my dismalness. All right, so it says here, show's going to be written and executive produced by Daniel Casey, who wrote the 9th Fast and Furious movie. Will also be executive produced by Karim Zeke, Jessica Jones, and Ari Arad, who was involved with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But this is where I keeled my head down. I said BioWare's Michael Gamble, the project director on the next Mass Effect game, will also be executive producing the series. Oh man! So
Drill, I called it. Sorry, I let the record show.
You did. I called it. You did. So, and the reason why we're upset, people, for those of you who are like, I don't understand, these BioWare games have been shit. I mean, they've been maybe not complete shit, but they're not the same BioWare.
Stand on it. They're shit. Call it out. It is a turd is a turd, Drill. It doesn't matter if it has a high fiber, there's shape to it. It's like a one wipe shit. Or if it's like full on Taco Bell fucking beer diarrhea shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll say they're complete garbage compared to what we know real BioWare to be. And then obviously the writing is fucking terrible from the games. I mean, even just talking about Dragon Age Veilguard, which we just talked about, last episode or episode before that. Just nonsense, right? Nonsense. And then it looks like the executive producer of that is going to be sitting in or whatever. So we're probably going to be seeing some weird jank bullshit screenwriting. Yeah, I mean, see, this is what, when we talked about this before, Arthur, as far as like when we have these coveted stories that don't get the respect that they deserve, like a producer from a series doesn't, the executive producer and producer, they're not gonna be someone who's resembling like, we care about this game and I'm going to be sitting with the project. Like the producer's all about the money and stuff, right? Not really with the artistic direction, like the director, which is why the fucking Last of Us series, how it got to where it was because, of said director. I forget his name at the moment, but
the Fallout show as well.
Yeah, the Fallout show as well. Like that guy, he was heavily a big Fallout fan. He played the games like hundreds of hours, an actual Fallout fan, collaborating with everyone else, talking to Todd Howard, etc. So you have these people that have this passion and involvement. An executive producer doesn't give a shit about creative direction. They care about money. So this person is not going to be the best representation for the Mass Effect series. And obviously, Mass Effect, we've talked about over the years, they've had an entire, 360, goddamn 360 of changes, right? People that originally wrote the game are no longer there. Creative directors no longer there. Even from talking about the last Mass Effect game, Mass Effect Andromeda, very like the game is not like critically claimed well. It's not a good, to me. It sucks. Like, it's not that great of a game. There's a lot of weirdness. There's some things that are good, most of it is not. So and then so we're already on eggshells as far as like, damn, like I'm not really excited about the new Mass Effect game to come out. And then we're talking about this TV series. I feel like it's going to be another Halo situation, right? Where you have someone who's like, yeah, I don't care to really adapt anything from the game. We're just going to do our own thing. And then look, it's fucking canceled. So I just feel like this is going to be another walking the plank of that particular situation. And it's really disheartening because Mass Effect is one of the best role playing game series franchises of all time. Like, not counting Andromeda, obviously. Let's cut that fucker out. Like a tumor.
The Shepard trilogy. The Shepard trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So the Shepard.
Yeah, the Shepard trilogy, exactly. Yeah, the integrate, like that, and I talk about it all the time, and I'll keep talking about it because it's a fucking podcast, and I'm making a point. The save feature of carrying over your player and your decisions over to the sequels is one of the best features ever designed in a game, and why haven't more fucking people have done that? I will say that every fucking podcast if we're talking about Mass Effect or role-playing games. But yeah, it just goes back, like, there's just a lack of respect when it comes to these titles and IPs. I know originally they were gonna do the God of War. I guess they tripped and sucked their own dick or whatever it was, and they're not moving forward with that, right? So now it's we're back to
that was
square.
A horrible accident. Doctor, what happened? So here's the thing: you'll never guess. So I fell, on my dick. Oh, you fell forward? Okay, well, okay. So it's not that I fell on it; it's more like where it landed. Oh, continue. Where did your penis land? In my own mouth. Oh my god. Fuck. I didn't know I had a writer. I didn't know I had a writer from Sony here. Fuck. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm really disappointed. You were right. You were like, yeah, I'm not really excited about it. I'm like, well, it could be like Fallout. And then when I read the article, I'm like, nah, damn.
Drill,
So
not to shit on your diarrhea parade. But can I make a prediction? Knowing what you just told me, Drill, I think the new Mass Effect show will be so much more worse than the Halo show.
really,
I think here's why. The Halo show wasn't good as a Halo show because of all the creative decisions they made to make, Master Chief take his helmet off. They invented this fucking female character out of thin air that was this human character that was raised by the aliens. The I was raised by the aliens, the race I'm blanking on. Almost said arbiters. It's not the race, it's the guy. Keith David. But and then he ends up fucking her and all this weird shit. But here's the thing, Drill. The show Halo, its writing wasn't that bad. It was still like an okay show, but a horrible Halo show. But as far as the show goes, like just for its writing and just being a sci-fi show, their fight scenes were pretty cool. They had some moments that gave it more passes and fails. So I'll give it a 7. But Jarrell, when you said, which is kind of the reason why I assumed this was going to be bad, when you said that I think it's going to be worse, Jarrell, is because the new heads, the new team, the new Avengers, the fucking, I can't think of another example, but the new people of BioWare are behind this. I think it's going to be so much fucking worse because not only will this Mass Effect show have creative liberties like the Halo show, that guess what that means, Drell? Now we're going to have new age BioWare fucking dialogue in our Mass Effect show.
oh my god, PSA Central.
It's going to feel like an HR meeting. It's just there's no villains. BioWare and a lot of newer games, Drill, don't make villains anymore. You know what I mean? There's no bad guy. It's like, hey, why is that bad guy being nice? Well, we don't want to be offensive. That's how you know he's a bad guy. Like, well, hey, why is that bad guy apologizing instead of decapitating babies? Well, that's going to be offensive. That's what villains do. Like, um, so, uh, so like I said, the fact that whatever element of Bioware, this new team in Bioware is going to be involved in this show is why like I said, I think the Mass Effect show is going to be even worse than the Halo show. Because at least the Halo show had good action scenes and passable dialogue. Yeah, there's a couple of weird CGI things. Like people are like, oh, they left the Ford F-150 in the background. Whatever, cool. We all suck Game of Thrones dick, and they left a coffee cup. Shut up. Um, but again, I think that Halo had bad creative liberties, passable action, passable CGI, passable dialogue. I think this show is just going to have the atrocious, condescending, talking to you like a child, PSAs, fucking, hey, did you do this? Hey, when someone says that, this is how you respond. I think that's going to be all over this Mass Effect show. I think BioWare and this new age of cringe Twitter speak fucking writing that's been in most modern games for modern audiences, like Forspoken, like Saints Row the remake, like Dragon Age, like Dustborn, that music rhythm game where it was like, oh fuck, let me do my combo, triggered, canceled, fucking gaslit. And those are actual combos in the game, by the way. I think we're going to see some of that. So I think this new, like whatever 0.000% I had to maybe check out the show. Again, Drill, I have 0% hype for the show, and I have 0% hype for the new Mass Effect game. I don't care about Bioware. Again, do a lot of people find BioWare fun? I just Googled it. There's 50,000 people playing Dragon Age. Again, what's fun and what's good is subjective. But again, for us, when we say we're not going to play blank or we don't think blank is fun, we're going to explain our reasons why. It might be not the same reasons as you, but hey, teach their own. You can buy a PS5 Pro today. You can be hyped for this Mass Effect game. You can be hyped for Veilguard. I'm fucking not, and I don't give two shits about what BioWare is making now until they have a huge fucking update change just to make their games fun again, and have these quote unquote modern games for modern audiences know how to write villains again. Let them be offensive. Let them kill people. Again, by the way, Drell, in Dragon Age, like Outlaws, Dragon Age is another modern game. You can't be a bad guy. You can't do evil shit. You're just always lawfully good.
Pussies. Fucking pussies. Fuck these devs.
You called it, dude. Like, yeah. I'm just sorry. Because again, Drill, that phrase, modern audiences, cool. I can predict 9 out of 10 themes, which let the record show we fucking do. Like our track record backs it up. And again, so if it acts like a duck, it quacks like a duck. I don't give a fuck if that duck fucking dies.
Anyway, moving on.
All I'm saying is we could both agree Veilguard and BioWare's new writing is not good compared to what we've seen from BioWare. Like apples to apples.
Yeah, that's unequivocal. It's unequivocal. Because like, say if they were to respect this, right? If they were to respect Mass Effect, this is what I would do. Since we're shitting on what they're doing, I would have the writer from like the latest Blade Runner. What was it 2040 something?
Oh my god, yes, that was such a great fucking sci-fi movie.
The writer from that, or even the writer or director from Ex Machina. Like, there's really talented people out there that you can easily grab. Even the fucking director from the Aliens Romulus, like. There's like, even though it's horror, but like I would trust all of these people working on a Mass Effect game, and then obviously the writing has to be has to be fucking great. You know what I mean? It's maybe someone from the Dune series, the latest Dune movies, like somebody doing someone that really understands the how just how deep like that lore is, you know, and like in understanding the races, the culture, the just those significant, you know, things that are that are going on in the game, and then really honing in on those characters, the dialogue and whatnot. Like, just I just wish that people would give a fuck about art. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, and then it will drive the sales of whatever you fucking want if you really gave it the respect that it deserves. That's kind of my thing. Like, respect the art, understand the art. Don't just take it and fucking flip it to some bullshit to try to get a quick check off. Like, respect the art. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Dude, you had me going an epiphany face, Drill. If we get a shepherd speech written by the same people that wrote the Dune speeches, like I am Paul Atreides, Duke of Arrakis, like fucking in Mass Effect. Oh man, dude, instead of just this new Bioware shit, but again,
Yeah.
like you said, respect the art, respect the art, put out good quality, regardless of the face, just elephant in the room, regardless of the face, color, or context of the person saying it, and those will forever stand the test of time. And classic novels, comics, books, movies will have forever backed it up. So this BioWare's again theory of, like you said, Drill, not respecting our ticking boxes, it's holding it back. And I'm like I said, I'm not neither of us are looking for this to fail, but understandably we don't feel hopeful. But um I don't know. We were speaking of Mass Effect. We were speaking of Mass Effect's amazing music. And Jarrell, I'm being told gaming music is in the news once again.
Yes, yes, gaming music is in the news. So we have actually two segments here that connect to this. First thing we'll talk about the Grammys because the Grammys are fun, kind of. Um,
Well, Grammys, and they have. Sorry to draw that context for those of us, like many people that have not watched the Grammys in years. There is now a video game category.
yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah,
so just say,
exactly.
statistically speaking, millions of people have not watched the Grammys in years. So,
Yeah, yeah.
just to
They
introduce why we're
continue
talking about it.
exactly. They continue to get some of the lowest ratings in television history. The highest it went up in a while was the fucking Will Smith slapping. Well, actually, that was the Oscars.
How's
So
the Oscar?
so yeah, the Grammys are just fucked. Anyway, they're just consistently low. So this is from Video Games Chronicle. As you guys know, we fuck with them. They do some pretty good work here. It says here the nominations have been announced for the 2025 Grammy Awards, including the award for Best Video Game Soundtrack. So this is the third time that the Best Score Soundtrack for Video Games and Other Interactive Media Award have been featured in the Grammy Awards, having made its debut at the 2023 ceremony. Says this year the five nominated games are as follows: Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, which is Pinar Toprak, composer; God of War: Ragnarok, Valhalla, Baron McCreary; Marvel Spider-Man 2, John Paciano, or Paisano, hopefully I'm pronounced that correctly; Star Wars Outlaws, Wilbur Regett the second; and lastly, Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, which is Winifred Phillips. It says here. I'm just gonna. Let me read this part here. It says the inaugural winner award for 2023 was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as he pronounced it. But Valhalla, whose Dawn of Ragnarok DLC score by Stephanie Ekanomu, beat out Aliens, Fireteam Elite, Call of Duty Vanguard, and Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Old World. I'll leave it there. It's so funny, man. Like, just them describing the games that have been nominated, the games that won last year, it just shows, like, man, like, no, like, clearly, there's people in that room that don't really play games. Like, there's so many scores of films or of games, excuse me, that are fan fucking tastic, and they're just missing in action. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many great even indie. You know what I mean? Indie has been killing it. Like Spiritfarer soundtrack is amazing. You know, Sable's soundtrack is amazing. Ori, Will of the Wisp, amazing soundtracks. You know what I mean? Obviously, Final Fantasy, like no one wants to peep and check out all these other things. They just have to grab these kind of big name titles that they heard in a paper once. They're heard randomly in a podcast, you know. So it's just like, bro, like there's so many other great games that you can pull amazing music from to represent, you know, in this nomination. So, yeah, it's just fucking crazy. But did they? Let me ask you, Arthur. Did they add that category in the video game awards? That's always been a thing, right? This is one of the earlier awards.
Yeah. So
Right?
in the actual video game awards, best soundtrack, yes, is a thing. There's
Okay.
I forget when they added a subcategory or a second, not a sec, a second category, because there was like best video game soundtrack, and there was like best audio design, like what has like the best music, and like what has the best kapow, ching, pew sort of like sound design. Um, Jarrell, so you were saying how they're out of touch, they don't respect it. I'm not gonna say you're wrong, because Jarrell, when you read these nominees, do you want to know what most of them have in common?
What's that?
They weren't released this year. Jarrell, do you want to guess how many nominees?
That's very true. Yeah.
You want to guess how many of the nominees? How many were released this year?
None?
One.
Oh, really?
So, Shaun of the Dark, I think Star Wars Outlaws should win by default. I don't know if the soundtrack is good,
Oh, that's right. Star Wars
but
Outlaws. Yeah.
it was the only one released this year. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora last year. God of War Ragnarok felt as the Grammy said it, Valaha last year. Marvel Spider-Man 2 last year. Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord last year. So
Hilarious.
like I said, not like I said, y'all don't know where they get. Maybe this is like the Olympics. Maybe they're like, hey, we're just playing catch up. This is like every 4 years. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
And here's a funny thing, Joel. Do you want to know why this is hilarious and so much more insulting at the same time? The gaming industry makes money hand over fucking fist more than music. They have no idea how much more
Yeah.
attention and an audience they can grab by giving this category the respect it fucking deserves. Because again, they're fucking rolling out a shitty fucking piss stained red carpet for this category. This category alone makes more money than every other artist. I'm not insulting, I'm just giving facts. And then every other artist on that stage combined. So how the fuck are you going to backhand your potential whales of an audience or supporters of a new demographic, whether it's age, whatever it might be, to again to the Grammys that has an embarrassing low fucking viewership over the last, 5+ years.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah, it definitely it speaks. Yeah, it speaks to just how out of touch they are, and just kind of like I don't say mailing it in, but not really giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Not really giving a
Only
fuck.
one, Drill. You can say mailing it in when only one of the nominees came out this year, and the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
nominees for 2024 wait, actually, wait, hold on a second. I might have my years mixed up. Wait, God of War. Wait, I might be wrong. One sec. Sorry, Wizardry came out this year.
Okay, so two of the
two,
five or whatever it is.
two of the five. So yes,
Okay.
Joel. So yes, Joel. When only two of the nominees came out this year, you don't have to. You're absolutely correct. They are fucking mailing it in.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I mean, congratulations to those who got nominated, but it's just there's so many other ones at the table that they could have picked out of that hat, in my opinion. So
You deserve better. I know. I know I should on Outlaws. I know I should on Ubisoft. Frontier and stuff like that. But I don't want them to be. I don't want this industry to be fucking backhanded or treated disrespectfully or mailed in like they are with the fucking Grammys, which is a joke of itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of jokes, Nintendo's music app is available.
God damn.
So let me read this here.
Best one yet today.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I know I had to line
Speaking
that
of jokes, Nintendo. Let's talk about it.
one up. It says here that there are more than 65 hours of music available at launch. Says every game, here's every game included, which we won't read everything, but you know. It says here that for many years, players have been asking Nintendo to make its music available on streaming services like Spotify or Apple Music, but instead, Nintendo has decided to launch its own service. Says here to access Nintendo Music, you need to be subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. Without a subscription, you don't even have to have access to the list of songs available. Oh, you don't even without a subscription, you even don't have. That's got to be a typo on here.
Was this Kotaku?
I know that's strike one. Video Games Chronicle. You only have access to the list of songs available in the app. It says Nintendo said that it will continue to add more music to the app as time goes on, but on day one there are currently 24 soundtracks with a total running time of 68 hours and 48 minutes. It says the running time can actually be made longer for some of these because Nintendo has given the option to loop some tracks and extend their length to 15, 30, or 60 minutes. Below is a list of every soundtrack for Nintendo Music. I'm just going to name off a couple of names here. So Metroid, Famicom Disk System, Mario Super Mario Brothers, doesn't say which one. um, Dr. Mario, Kirby's Dream Land, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Super Mario World 2, Legend of Zelda, Star Fox 64, Fire Emblem, etc. So I'm not going to read all those. But yeah, funny, interesting stuff here. Then it says here at the end, this is although the above list shows everything available on Nintendo Music at the moment, the trailer for the app shows more albums that have yet to be added to this service. So, end quote. It's so funny that they're trying to roll out the music app stuff or just have the music app stuff and like they're not associated with like music stuff at all, you know. So they're just trying to do it however they see fit, and they want it behind that wall of the subscription. Like it's so weird. It's so weird. So, and then also too, the icing on the cake here, just because you can use that to stream the stuff, it doesn't mean you can play that music on YouTube if you're streaming or if you appreciate the game. You may fuck up your entire life if you do that.
Oh, did you play Four Notes from Dr. Mario on a game we made 15 years ago? Someone must like jail.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's pretty insane how extreme they are with with that. So it's I mean, it is cool to have access to that. I feel like, to me, like sharing the music is a part of is a part of the joy, right? I feel like I personally don't see the harm. And I know these are all personal IPs and stuff, but some of these games are like 30, 40 years old. Like, you're not gonna like just share the music. It's awesome. You know what I mean? And then the other thing too, that is a joke, and that we talked about off air, is that they don't really even know who fucking composed what or who made what. It's just under Nintendo Music Company. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing?
Nintendo just loves not giving credit what credit it's due. And another reason, just for context, again, like the big I am, I have the Dory brain for most things, but an elephant never forgets when gaming shit's been wronged. Is Nintendo last year had nominees in the Video Game Awards for Best Soundtrack, and they didn't even list the composer. It was just Nintendo Music Company. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. No, go ahead.
And like, how are you gonna enlist the composer? Like, we can't YouTube who made this fucking song. We can't use Spotify. We can't use Apple Music. So whoever made this award nominating, or maybe award winning, I don't know if they won, but let's just say they won. Whoever makes these, we both know Nintendo's won awards in the past for the music. Whoever makes these literal award-winning music doesn't even get the credit because it's under fucking Nintendo. It's like that saying, there's few things in this life that are universal, Drill. Love, food, and the new saying, oh, is music universal? No, music is Nintendo. like love ain't universal, bitch. This is fucking Nintendo. This is Mario's house. Ain't nothing universal in this bitch except our theme parks. But yeah, so I was proud of that one.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But again, I'm like, yo, I fuck with YouTube. You were talking about this before the pod. I fuck with YouTube Music. I have YouTube Premium. I haven't seen a YouTube ad and it feels like decades. I do get a little, I do get minimally elitist when I see a YouTube.
I'm jealous. I gotta re up. I gotta get my YouTube Premium back.
Do it, man. Like I said, ads on YouTube. What the fuck is that? Like, I haven't seen an ad in forever. I haven't seen an ad in like 2 presidents. Like, I don't know. I forgot what ads look like, man. But again, for Nintendo, it's just this music on copyright shit. I know there's different laws in Japan. But again, like their crackdown on music is insane. Like Jarrell, remember when their own? I love when the internets. Jarrell, remember that post? It was like Nintendo UK put in a tweet, and it was like, "What's your favorite Nintendo song?" And it was thousands of YouTube links or Spotify links, or it was mainly YouTube links of videos unavailable. I'm just like, God damn, dude. Like,
yeah.
And this isn't like other people memeing you. These are your literal customers. This is your fan base. These are the people that keep your lights on. And they're like, let us enjoy what you've made. Like we want to, like, you made a thing, we want to enjoy it. Please let us enjoy it. And Nintendo's like, no. Nintendo's like, Nintendo is not. And here's the thing, actually, and Joel, it's worse. Nintendo's not even a no. Nintendo's a cease and desist. Nintendo will shut down your tournaments. Nintendo will fucking sue you. Nintendo will fine the living shit out of you until you die. Like, I know that, okay, that's a hacker thing, but still, like, Nintendo is just the killer of fun. Like, it's like that running joke of how we couldn't sing Happy Birthday in public because Michael Jackson owned the rights to it. And then after Michael Jackson died, the family was like, we're making this public again. Sing Happy Birthday, you're fucking content. Thank you. Cool, Nintendo. You're worse than Michael Jackson. What the fuck, dude?
Can moonwalk your way out of this one. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree as far as just like, yeah, it's ridiculous that they're not paying homage and at least credit them. At least credit them on the fucking app. Like give them that said respect. Like, I mean, maybe that's just not how Japan rules, but I mean, I love Japan, but as far as when it comes to this, I'm just many questions. I don't understand. So.
I don't think it's Japan Trail, because Square Enix markets the fuck out of who does their music. Like,
yeah,
Utada Hikaru, I think, was the name of. She's the reason that made an entire generation of people my age and high school men like tear up because of Kingdom Hearts. Like, Simple and Clean is like forever, just like, as the kids say, oh, vibes. Like I expect, like, if you're just enjoying your day and Simple and Clean comes on, that's when you just start brooding. You just start staring into the rain and just contemplating life when that song comes on, man. You just think about the good old times. But again, Square Enix and other companies like Kojima, like both Hideo Kojima and now the company Konami, they've give credit what credit is due.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless it's a trailer where a remake is announced, and we have no idea who's making it. But usually when it comes to music, they do announce like, hey, here are the song called Snake Eater. Yeah, we'll fucking tell you. We'll fucking advertise the fuck who made that song.
Right. No, you're right. I think you are right. Yeah, I think you are right. Yeah, I know, man. It's funny. I was thinking about, just like games where like the score really got me emotionally. I feel like this is a strange one, but Final Fantasy X-2. There's that piano intro, gut wrenching, like very, 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 very gut wrenching. So yeah, that was definitely one of those for me. But yeah, man, I mean, obviously, Just like all of the fucking soundtrack for the original Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1. I mean, fucking
Even
incredible
the
music.
even the new Metal Gear stuff.
Yeah, I
Metal
mean,
Gear
fucking
Solid
all of them.
5.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so
Yeah.
yeah. So Nintendo is like, hey, you can only watch it here. We won't tell you who makes it. Epiphany. I have those a lot. More like a thought. Less epiphany, more like a light bulb flickering. We'll go with that. Do
Okay.
you think Nintendo doesn't give credit where credit is due? Because if they did, people would find a way to listen to that music somewhere else.
I was gonna say because they'd have to pay them, but
Yo, y'all been working with Nintendo. I've been working with Nintendo. What are you? Oh, I'm a music intern. How long have you been working here? 25 years.
yeah, I was like, that's kind of my reason. Don't put your name because legally we have to give you royalties, and we don't want to do that because we're Nintendo.
You are a third party independent contractor intern.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. It's like it's like Jurassic Park. Life finds a way. Like if you're not gonna do it, someone else is gonna do it. You know, so like that's why I like using YouTube. You know, or just YouTube Music because it puts it in a traditional like music streaming. You know, as notion or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, so it's just like I've found mad like rare stuff on YouTube/YouTube Music because someone just fucking uploads it, you know, and they have to make certain adjustments so they don't get found. But it's like if you're not going to give like the fans like the accessibility, and sometimes some things are very hard to access, like that's just a part of the other part of the side of the spectrum too, you know. But all the more reason why there's a dope community on YouTube that can upload some of that stuff for people to just enjoy it. They're not trying to sell it on the street for $5 a pop. They just give a fuck about the music and the one who did it. Like it's that simple, you know what I mean? So it's just weird when it's under just an umbrella of a random name, you know.
I like how the majority of the internet is like, yeah, we'll do YouTube. And then the real ones are like, yeah, YouTube. Yar har fiddly dee. You are a pirate.
GR. Yeah, exactly. So shit.
God, LimeWire.
Yeah, man. So I think with that said, I think that's probably gonna wrap up the show. I don't think Steam sales have launched yet. I kind of want. I was, I was kind of curious on if there would be if the Steam sales would go live. But typically, if they start around the 24th. But a lot of these Thanksgiving-ish sales, Black Friday sales, they tend to start a lot earlier these days. So, from a gaming perspective,
they're not Black Friday deals. They're not Thanksgiving deals. They're my fucking birthday deals. You're goddamn welcome.
that's right. These are Arthur deals, Arthur Gamers for Life deals.
This is the world celebrating my birthday. You're fucking welcome.
Jesus. All right. Goddamn.
Say with that drill last week, we found out I couldn't spell, I forget what word I couldn't spell. I already fucking forgot. But this week, I may or may not know how to spell humility. It's my birthday on Black Friday, bitches.
Oh yeah, eloquent was the word last week.
Yeah, eloquent. EL something.
It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, because like I might buy No Man's Sky if it's like heavily discounted on PC Steam. I may just buy it just to have it.
Drill, real shit. If you buy that, let me know. I will buy that on PS5 because.
Is it crossplay? Is it crossplay for PC to PS5?
Fucking better be after this long.
Yeah,
I think no, it is.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because we used to play with Bacon on PC.
All
because a game we don't mention as much, but Drill, just a reminder for listeners as we wrap up real quick. No Man's Sky still getting updates. If they're still they're
Sean
still,
Murray, bro. Dude. Sean Murray, he's what Todd Howard should be. Yeah.
They made No Man's Sky with 13 people. Tony Stark made it in a cave. No Man's Sky with taking off and fucking Phil Spencer, the Todd Howard. No Man's Sky made you lift off and land on planets with 13 people. What the fuck, Todd?
Exactly. Yeah, great point there. So, all right, folks, that's going to round up here for the Game Show podcast. Of course, each and every Friday, Saturday, Sunday when we can, discussing that gaming shit. Obviously, it is around the holiday time for Thanksgiving. So we may or may not have an episode in a little bit. But again, that's why I always say see you next time. But again, myself, Jarrell, Church isn't with us, but he's with us in spirit as we talked about the PS5 Pro. And
Not dead.
No, he's alive. He's alive and well. I'm just saying he's not here for the show. You guys know that. But anyway, I'm host Jarrell. With me is Arthur. Stop looking at me that way.
Sorry, he's not here, but he'll always be in our heart. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I was trying to tie it to the PS5 Pro, but I guess didn't do it.
No, if you want to allude he's dead, be like Stadia. He's gone to the beyond.
He was the founder of the Founders Edition.
Like your childhood dog, he's gone upstate to a ranch.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.